Okay, you guys, can you get excited? We're making gorgeous earrings out of burlap, ribbon, and crosses.
Hey, you guys. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video out right quick with the first things that we're gonna need that we talked about in the intro. So you're gonna need some shapes for your earrings. Let me put this book down. I don't know why I was trying to talk and hold it at the same time. But anyway, so that's a book that I love to read. It's an affirmations book. So look, it's called The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn. It's kind of hard to come by, but if you can find it on Amazon, you definitely want to order it. It's an incredible book. So we're going to be making some burlap covered earrings and like fall design earrings. I'm also going to be using some crosses. Just had an idea in mind, hoping they come out right. I saw another YouTuber that used coffee to stain their wood, which I love the idea of that, because using the other stain, what's it called? The Verathane, the smell is like too much. I love the smell of it, right? But it's not healthy, obviously. Right? So coffee is gonna be a better option. So this is just from the pot of coffee from this morning, not used coffee that was in the pot, like not that I drank, right? And then these super cool discs. So I love, this is my favorite shape. You can get these from Michael's. I have these in every shape. And what I do is I open up the package and then put them in Ziploc bags. So that way they're just not all over the place. And I have every shape known to man. And what I do is I buy them when I see them, because sometimes they're out. And that way I never run out and always have them on hand for making jewelry and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put these in the coffee. And I'm just gonna make sure they're covered really well in there. And I'm gonna leave them in there for a couple of hours because I want them to be well stained. And yes, you could probably figure out a way to whitewash these with, what's the word I'm looking for? Like with a paint or something like that, but I don't want to do that. I want these to be coffee stained, so I can say that we did them in a natural way. And so just to hold those down and make sure they stay down, I'm just gonna put a bottle of paint on top of them to keep them down under there, because I can always rinse the paint off, right? So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one on that one, and then I'm gonna put another bottle of paint on this one to hold it down in there. And we're just gonna let that sit there for a couple of hours, and then we'll come back. I'll show you what they look like and we'll get going with the design from there. But these are gonna be like some fall burlap earrings, super cute for the fall season, which is upon us right now. Okay, you guys, so the bases to the earrings are still soaking. So next, what I'm gonna do while that's soaking is I'm just putting together the supplies. So I got these from Hobby Lobby. These are some wooden crosses, and I never use these, but I think they're really pretty. I'm gonna put these on the earrings, kind of down like the center. I have an idea in mind. The other thing we're gonna use is this really pretty lace. I got it from Dollar Tree. The reason why it's cut like this, trust me, it came on a roll. I just gave the roll to my 15-year-old because she wanted to use it for something. So I just cut off the little bit that I needed for my earrings, so I could put them down the center. And then we're gonna use that. So that roll of really pretty lace was at the Dollar Tree. I wanna say it was either on the floral aisle or either on the craft aisle, which their craft aisle just continues to get better and better. Now these are burlap leaves. Obviously they're too big for earrings, right? But they didn't have any burlap ribbon, and my idea is for a pair of burlap earrings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of the leaves out, take the stem off of it, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to glue the burlap to the earring base, like a strip of it that I'm hoping to do. Put the lace on there, put the crosses on there, and then we're gonna have this really great earring. That's what I have envisioned in my mind, but I'm not sure how stiff this is. Let's go ahead and open these up. I saw another craft that was using these for fall decorations, and so they had them out. Oh gosh, their Christmas decorations are out already. And we just, excuse me, we just closed on a new home. We haven't moved yet. So I'm going to, I got Christmas decorations because I know this stuff is gonna go fast. It's all really pretty. So these are pretty, they're pretty firm. So what I was gonna do is just take the little piece off the back, that little pick just pulled right off. And once I have the earring bases finished being stained with the coffee, I'm just gonna cut strips of this and glue it down. It's probably gonna take a specific glue. I'm gonna keep using the super glue, gel glue, to use it to glue it down. I could use the E6000, but I believe it will be gloppy through these because there are not seams, but you know, it's like mesh. So it's really pretty, but these are really sturdy. I could see why people were using these for home decor. I think I've been sleeping on like these little seasonal things from the Dollar Tree. So really pretty. So I'm just gonna let the bases continue to stain a little bit more. Let me show you what they're looking like so far. So that'll give you time to put your supplies together. Wooden cross beads, Hobby Lobby, leaves from the Dollar Tree, a roll of lace from the Dollar Tree, and that's what you're gonna need to make this project. Hey you guys, so what we're getting ready to do now is, I did go through, so that was the original color with the coffee stain was on the back, which I did like, but this was kind of more of what I was going for, so what I did was I took some paint and I just added a whole bunch of water. So basically I put 2 drops of this in my paint tray and then added water, and with a fluffy brush, I just smoothed around it, spread it all out so I could get that coffee stain, like just darker stain look that I was going for. So now what we're gonna do is, I kind of want like just a straight burlap, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just a straight burlap line of fabric, for lack of a better word. So what I'm gonna do is just cut the leaf up and just create a square where I can right quick. Like something like that. And so what I want to do then is I want like a burlap strip down the center. That's what I'm going for. So I'm going for like a burlap strip, and then I'm also going for like a strip of lace. So I need to straighten this up just a little bit, and then what I'll do is once I cut a piece off, I'll make a template and then cut from that piece as well. So let's just cut off the little ruffled edges. And you don't want to throw this away, because I'm sure you can use this to make other stuff. You know, because maybe you want to make more than one pair of earrings. Okay, you guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut, well, I guess I could fold it like that and then do an even strip, like an even cut down the middle. And then this stuff is pretty tough, like it's firm. So you're gonna need some serious glue to hold it down. And I'm probably gonna have to stick something on top of it to make it stay down. So, well, I don't know, it's pretty flat though. So let's put it that way. And then this has like a little lighter spot right there. So what I'm gonna do is, since it has a lighter spot there, is I'm gonna cover it up and let it go that way. Now you wanna make sure your wood grain, for the most part, is going in the same direction if that's possible. And what I'll probably do is glue it down, and then I'll make the trim on the edges, but it looks like one piece is a little bit wider, so let's see. Yeah, I think it's a little bit wider right there, so let's trim that down. And on this side. So now let's lay them down, and in that way, perfect. We can be sure that they're the same. It still seems like there's a little wide right there, so I'm just cutting that off. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna use the super glue, only because I really like it. Well, didn't mean for that to happen. I'm not sure if the top is stuck in there now. Let's see. Nope. Cool. Let's see. I like how it doesn't dry up and get stuck like the other super glue, this gel super glue. I like this stuff. And I was looking at some crafts that some other people were making, and they were using the wood glue. Now I don't have any need for a wood glue project, but I'm about to make one up just because I liked how the wood glue looked. Like how it stuck stuff together. So I've seen a lot of things I want to make using Dollar Tree items, but I just my goal is to be a great steward over our earnings and our income. So I'm like, well, let me pray on that. You know, because we can buy stuff just because we see things being made and get all excited about it. But I'm like, don't want to be wasteful. So let me make sure I have a place for stuff before I just go spending money. So I'm just making sure I have this on here straight and that everything's lined up. So let's see. It doesn't seem perfectly straight to me, but let's see. And I need to add. So I'm not even sure if this is gonna be enough glue for this, for the burlap. I'm gonna see how it dries. And then see if it's pretty taut on there. So that's really pretty. I like how that's gonna look. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue this section down. I'm gonna add a little bit more glue this time than I did on the other one. Y'all, and thank you for the compliments. I get so many compliments from y'all about just my creativity. And these are God ideas. I'm telling you, I'll be riding down the road and all of a sudden I have an idea for an earring. I'm like, oh, okay, I wanna make that. And then I'll actually see the items, I'll see the design, and I'll just be like, oh, I wanna make that. And so that's why I always say, praise God, amen, because these are godly ideas. They're not my own personal ideas. But just because God gives us our creativity. So let's lift that up a little bit more. Don't want to stick my hand down. I'm gonna let these dry really well. And after it dries, I'm just gonna make sure you push them all the way down. And we're gonna leave it alone and let it dry really well. So I don't think I'm gonna need to sit anything on it, but just for kicks and giggles, let's sit that down there. Not that they're that heavy or anything. But let's sit that there. Hey, you guys. Okay, so look, this is what I did. We're getting ready to glue the lace on now, but what I did was the lace was too wide if I left it whole and put it on top of the burlap. So what I did was I cut the little strip off here, and we can save this for something else. So I could either do a thin strip down the middle, which is pretty, or I could do a fuller strip because I want it to be like a farmhouse type earring. A fuller strip down the middle, and then I can begin to add the cross details and stuff like that. So I'm gonna put it right there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and glue it down, and gonna let it dry. And this glue, y'all, is so incredible. I like it a lot. I think I may be kicking the E6000 to the curb. It doesn't have like this horrible smell. I didn't mean to drop it. So let's put that down the middle, and then again, I'm just gonna use the back of the paint. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim the little excess off, and we'll put some more glue down on the end and lay it down. So you don't even have to touch it and get your fingers all sticky and stuff like that. But you do want to press it down to make sure it sticks. But look at that. That's really pretty. And it looks so old-fashioned, like a farmhouse type thing. So I'm gonna do the other one. Just put the glue down the middle. These are such simple earrings. I mean, just easy. And then just make sure you have the lace on the same side. So flip it over that way. My Lammy just got here. Okay, and then lay that down and make sure it's straight. And again, just gonna press it down. And what you could do over here on this end, so you don't have to go back and add any glue, is just lift that up, put a little bit of glue down. Let's close this back up so it doesn't get stuck together. And there we go. So go ahead and trim it off. You hurt your arm?
No, it was missing nothing.
And then if there's any type of overhang on the bottom, we can just trim that off after everything dries. Look how pretty that is. So I'm gonna let those dry, go cut my pinto beans down. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so what I did while we were off camera was I took the rest of the leaf and I cut tiny strips because the earring looked so plain. I wanted to dress it up some more. So I took some more of the burlap leaf and I just cut strips like this and then glued the strips down using the gel super glue. So now we have 2 earrings that match. And remember I had cut the smaller lace strip, so I could even go and add it out to the side and add a little bit more to dress it up, which is probably what I'll do. So I'm gonna go cut some more of that. Let me just cut a piece off while we're on here together. And then what we could do is we could glue it down. And just off to put it off to the side, I'm gonna lift it up so you can see it. And that's just gonna give it some more dressiness. So we're just gonna use our super glue and put it over here along the edge. Now I'm gonna give this time to dry because I can tell that because I can still smell it, that it's probably not completely dry from where I put the other sides down. But at least it doesn't smell as horrific as the E6000 glue, so we're just gonna be grateful for that. So just take it and we're just gonna lay it off to the edge. Now it does dry pretty fast. I'm not saying it's not drying, but I can still smell it, which tells me it's not completely dry. So then, look how pretty that is. And so it's just like, it reminds me of a doily. Is that what it reminds you all of? And so super cute. So I'm just gonna go, this piece is long enough. So I'm just gonna cut off some extra. And probably face it in the opposite direction. Put it along the edge, and then I'll just do the other earring off camera. And what's cool about the gel super glue is, one, it gives you a little bit of time to move stuff around. That's number 1. And number 2, it isn't as loosey-goosey, so you're not sticking your fingers to stuff, and I like that. You know how sometimes you use a regular super glue and it's like everything sticks and you're like, okay, Lord, by the time the project is over, I'm gonna be stuck to the project. So, because I don't think that's gonna be long enough for me to use over there. Oh, yes it is. Let's see. Maybe I'll try to cut that off instead of wasting it and see if it'll fit on this side. Yep, that'll fit. So let's go ahead and put this along here. I was gonna do it off camera, but since we already have it and we're on here, let's go ahead, squeeze us some glue out. And then we're just gonna keep putting it down. And I only need to cut one more little piece out. And so what I did was I just cut along the edge of the lace. I showed y'all that already, but let me try to do it on camera. I just don't want to get it too close to the glue. So I just cut inside the open eyelet. And these are X-Acto scissors. I've had these for years. I remember buying them for my 15-year-old when she was really young. And my husband was like, those scissors are too sharp. I don't know what I was thinking about. But even then, she was doing art and stuff like that. She just loved to color and draw. She might have been like 4 or 5. And I was like, you're probably right. So now, you know that she's older, she can use them. It's no big deal. They probably need to be sharpened. Do y'all know how to sharpen your scissors and stuff like that without taking it to a professional, or do you need to buy a new pair? once they stop being so sharp. What do y'all think? I'm sure there's a way to do that. Close it back up. This was about enough glue to do a few projects. Let's put it down. And even in using the end of the, or the bottom of the paint bottle, I've been sitting the paint bottle on top of the little plastic stand that's right here that's holding the cup that y'all are sitting in. And it hasn't stuck to anything, so that's cool. So look, pretty.
Okay, you guys, so we took the time to glue everything down. I love how they turned out. The only thing I didn't do, of course, yet was paint the back, which I probably would add a little bit more paint. They're still wet because I can feel my fingers sticking to the lace a little bit. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead and glue the crosses down, and then I'm just gonna leave these alone for a little while. Because everything can kind of be drying at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the backs of the crosses. And I put about that much on there. And then we're just going to, I'm going to glue 2 of them. But what I realize is, oh, that's right. I'm going to do the hanging piece at the top. So it should be okay if I get fairly close to the top. But I'm only going to do 2 crosses per earring. And these are made out of wood. They're really light, so these earrings are really lightweight. I'm almost out of glue, it feels like. Feels like I'm straining that when they get out of there. So pretty. And then what I might do is, if I can find any little silver decorative pieces, is maybe I'll put something in the center of the crosses. But I think they look really pretty. You could add like some turquoise wooden beads down there if you wanted to. You could add a wooden hanging bead if you chose to. So I'm just gonna squeeze as much of the glue as I can out of here. I love this stuff, minus the smell. And then you want to match them up. Make sure you're lining them up. One more. And make sure they're the same across from each other. And then what I'm going to do is I have one more meeting for tonight. Of course, it won't seem like it when I come back and finish up this video. And then we'll get these finished so you can see what they look like. But look how sweet they are. I love how they have that kind of like a prairie look, like a Western type vibe. I love those. So that's exactly what I envision in my mind. That's the look I'm going for. And then they're going to hang and swing and dangle. They're going to be gorgeous. So let's go let them dry, and then we'll be back to finish them up to put the loop-de-loops on them.
Okay, you guys, so here's how they turned out. And what I decided to do this time was reverse the eyeglass loop and make it upside down. So then we could just use that loop without having to add any others. And then I had some extra jump rings that I lost the other day. And I think these are still drying, so I'm not gonna touch them as much, only because, like I said, I touched it and it still feels a little wet. So I'm not even gonna clamp them down yet. Let's lay it down so you can see it. And then, remember the other day, well, you might not, I had lost some jump rings on my table. I ended up finding these. I was like, where'd my jump rings go? So we're just putting these on here. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. So this is how they turned out. And I'm a total fan. They just remind me of like a prairie earring. Like you could wear with a prairie dress, which those things are in. Fall boots. You could wear this with a chunky cable knit sweater. I mean, they're just perfect to me. So I hope you love them. Hope you get a chance to make a pair. Let's see what they look like on. I need to hold them up closer to the camera. So let's see what they look like on. So I think they turned out super cute. I love them. They're not heavy at all. I just have long ear holes. So these are gonna be the perfect fall earrings. Just wait until the next project we have that's coming up. You're gonna love those too. They're gonna be a surprise. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon.